So here's another consecutive one, and I wanted to do one that has the second type. Okay, so remember we had one type where it's just consecutive integers, and the second type of consecutives are the ones that give you a condition that it has to be, it has to be a particular kind of integer. In this case, they give us the word odd. Right? So that's the difference between this one and part 6. So what you want to do is you want to read the problem going from left to right. The sum of two consecutive odd integers is 52. Find the smaller. Next, we're going to see if there's any danger words. No danger words. Remember, danger words are the words from, than. Don't have it here, so good. Next, determine what type of consecutive problem. Remember, these are not the ones that say the number, odd number, some number. These are the ones that say the word consecutive. So we got to determine what type. And we'll go back to this chart. And remember, there's a part A, and that's this top line, everything in black. And then it's like type B, where everything is in red. Okay? So we got to determine, are we going to use the black line or are we going to use the red line? So notice the problem says the sum of two consecutive odd. So it doesn't say plain consecutives. It actually gives us the word odd. Because it gives us the word odd, we have to use this line, the red line. The red line says if I need one integer, you're going to use x. If I need two, then use x and x plus 2. And if I need 3, I'm going to use x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. This guy says the sum of two consecutive. So I only need the first two. X, that's one guy, and x plus 2, that's your second guy. Okay? So cross out the words two consecutive odd. We know x would be for the first, and x plus 2 is the second one. There's one, there's the other. Okay? Notice I didn't do x plus 4 because it didn't ask us for 3. It just asked us for 2. Okay. Now that I know what line I was using, what type of consecutive, then we can go to step 3, translate any key buzzwords. Well, we definitely got some key words here. Is, is my equal sign. Sum of, we know that means we're going to add something. Integers got canceled out when we decided that two consecutive odd integers means x and x plus 2. So everything got canceled out. So we're going to look again. Did you have any ands? No, there's no ands, so we don't have to worry about step 4. So step 5, rewrite the problem. So we're going to rewrite it so that we're only using numbers, letters, operation symbols. Now again, how many problems do we start with an operation symbol? Like a division symbol or multiplication symbol? No. So we're going to add something, but I'm not going to put a plus sign yet. So I look at it and say, I'm going to add two consecutive odd integers. 1, 2. I must need to add these two guys. So I'm going to put the first integer, and I'm going to sum or add with the second integer. And it's going to equal positive 52. Notice variables, constants, operation symbols, numbers, letters, symbols. Once we have this, we can solve because it's an equation, has an equal sign. Left and right hand side, start on your left side. Do I have any parentheses to simplify? No. Do I have any like terms? Variable, variable, constant. These match. Because they match, collecting is always circling. Okay? This is a positive. This is a positive. If you have to slip in coefficients because you don't see any, slip in a 1. When you have two positives, you know you're going to add. Who's going to win? Well, there's a tie, but even if you look at this team, team positive. If you look at this team, team positive. So the only team that could win is team positive. This constant, just bring it down. Now on this side, can we simplify? No, there's no parentheses, and it's just a plain constant, nothing to collect with. Bring it down. Remember, simplifying, I can only look at one side at a time. I cannot look on both sides. Now that we're done simplifying, now the label. This is the only side that has a variable. This must be constant. Now I can do the moving step. Moving step is when I look on both sides. So this side can only have variables. Boom, that's a variable, it gets to stay. It's married to the coefficient. There's no coefficient side, so they get to stay together for right now. We're gonna move this guy. He's a plain number, it's a constant, can't stay on the variable side. Opposite would be -2. Whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. They cancel out. You know a positive and a negative subtract. We're going to get 50. Why positive? Because 52 players beats out a team of 2. 52 is a positive, so that's why it's positive. Now that I have variables on one side, constants on the other, now I can deal with this coefficient. You always divide by the coefficient and its sign. It's a +2, so I'm going to divide both sides by +2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Are we done? Maybe. Check to ask, what were they looking for? Remember, step 6 is once you solve, make sure that your answer is actually the answer that they're looking for. You were asked to find the smaller. Now you might not realize which of these two guys are smaller, so let's think about it. Anything that you add a positive number to, you're making it bigger. And if I add anything +2, +1, you're making them bigger. So this is larger compared to just a plain x, which would be the smaller size. This says you want to find the smaller size. So all I need to do is find what x is. That's it. What is x? Just 25. That's your answer. You can double check because if I ask you to find the second integer, if you know the first one is 25, the second integer would be add 2 would be 27. And that makes sense. 25 as one integer plus 27 of a second integer, if you add them, you'll get the 52. And I know I'm probably on the right track because notice I need to find odd integers. Is 25 an odd number? Yes. If for some strange reason you were doing this and you got a 26 here when it says find odd numbers, then you definitely did it wrong. Because if this is odd, then you need to have an odd answer. All right? This is how you would solve one that has consecutive odd.